Hello everyone, my name is Leo, and after my review of the SoniCake Pocket Master, some of you wrote me that there was a new firmware adding to the Pocket Master the possibility to load NAM profiles. Actually, I have to admit that at the beginning I was quite skeptical. Come on, a $60 device that can load NAM profiles? But then I decided to give it a try. And yes, this little toy here can load NAM profiles. So now the questions are there some conversions done on the NAM profiles by the Pocket Master to be able to load them? Is there any quality loss in those conversions? And what about latency? In this video we are gonna answer all these questions with some scientific tests that took me a lot of time. Therefore, please like and subscribe to help me to create more videos like this. Let's start! First of all, the procedure to load the NAM profile inside the Pocket Master is pretty simple. We simply have to load the SoniCake Manager in our computer, select the Clone Manage tab, then select the import, then we have to choose the NAM profile in our computer and load it. Nice and easy. To me, it's pretty clear that the NAM profiles are converted in some simpler format, also because the Pocket Master processes the signal at 44.1 kHz, where NAM profiles are at 48 kHz. So the question is, how much quality are we losing in those conversions? To answer, we will use our beloved NULL test, which is based on the principle that if you play at the same time two sounds, with one of them phase inverted, the lower is the resulting integrated LUFS, the higher is the similarity of the two sounds. More on that in my other videos. Let's actually perform the NULL test. NULL test of the real SOLDANO versus the NAM Player. So we have minus 40.3 LUFS. And now Pocket Master versus real SOLDANO phase inverted. Resulting integrated LUFS are minus 27.3. So, clearly and honestly, as expected, there is a quite significant difference, minus 40.3 for the NAM Player and minus 27.3 for the Pocket Master. I think you can clearly hear that the resulting sounds for the NAM Player is much lower compared to the one with the Pocket Master. But guys, the NAM Player costs $600, where this device costs $60. So the NAM Player costs 10 times more than this device, so a quality loss, a quality difference has to be expected, honestly. Let's now share how the Pocket Master manages the dynamic range and the note envelope versus the real SLO 100 and versus the NAM Player. Now I want to add a bit more info thanks to the help of Jason Zdora. Jason, I hope I have pronounced correctly your name. Jason pointed out that NAM profiles are done at 48 kHz, where the Pocket Master runs at 44.1. This means that there could be a pitch shifting error due to the difference of sample rates used by NAM at 48 and the sample rate inside this device at 44.1. Jason has created this graph that shows the NAM and the Pocket Master EQ curves, pointing out the time shift in some peaks. This is something that was happening also in earlier iterations of NAM plugin, where changing the sample rate from 48 to 44 resulted in changing the places where EQ peaks and dips took place, almost as if we pitch shift the EQ profile. This is perhaps also happening with the Pocket Master as well. I think this is quite an interesting observation by Jason and something I'm not sure is picked up by my null test, as I align the phases of the two signals in order to properly complete the null test. And now let's switch to latency. Of course, one of the metrics that impact how good a modeler or profiler feels under our fingers is latency. I have done several videos about latency in my channel, and if you want more info about the results obtained and how I have measured it, you can check out my 23 amp modeling pedalboard latency test. With this out of the way, let's jump straight to the results. With an empty chain, I mean no effect blocks in the chain, we have 5.2 milliseconds of latency, and we have still 5.2 even if we switch on an amp. If we activate also an IR, the latency has just a little increase at around 5.3 milliseconds. On the other hand, if we load a profile, the latency behaves like an amp plus IR at around 5.3 milliseconds. Then it stays at 5.3 whatever effect we add, for instance a boost, plus a drive, plus a delay and a reverb. So at the end I would say that this device has a fixed latency at around about 5.2, 5.3 milliseconds, independently from the signal chain you are gonna set up, with just a tiny increase if you use a profile instead of an amp. Of course, there are other devices with better latency performances, like the NAM Player, which is below 1 millisecond, or Boss units, which are at around 1 milliseconds, or Nuix, which are at around 1.1 milliseconds. But we have always to keep in mind the price of this unit, and actually that there are in the market even other modelers which cost much more than this unit that actually has worse latency performances. Let's now jump to the conclusion section of this video. Welcome to my final considerations. Let me also add that SoniCake has sent me this device for free, but of course here I'm sharing my results without any limitation or influences from SoniCake, also hoping that these results can help to improve the product or can be of some help also for new products. First of all, of course, this is a great move from SoniCake. I think that all the modelers or profilers should allow us to load NAM profiles as a standard feature. Of course, the limitation could be in the DSP power of the modeler, as NAM profiles are pretty DSP intensive. And here is where some conversion algorithms can be introduced to somehow simplify the NAM profiles to be loaded. For instance, SoniLab did it with their Stomp station with pretty good result. I think that also the Pocket Master performs some format translations that probably has to simplify a lot the NAM profiles to be able to run them in such a small and little device. And that's where we can have some quality loss. Furthermore, there is the 44.1 problem also mentioned by Jason Dora and explained in the previous section of this video, which may be solved with some firmware upgrades. At the end, as we have seen, the NAM player performs a lot better, but guys, we have to take into consideration that it costs 10 times more. It is at 48 kHz and it is able to run NAM profiles natively, having a pretty good DSP chip. All in all, the great merit of this device is that it will inevitably push the market toward an integration of NAM profiles in the modelers. NAM is becoming a sort of industry standard with a growing library of amps profiles, and if SoniCake has at least tried to load the NAM profiles in a $60 device, why the other big gear builders shouldn't try to do it? Please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment section below. I think this is an interesting discussion. Should all the modelers include by default the possibility to load the NAM profiles? Please let me know in the comment section below. We have now reached the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumb up, as it will be of great help. If you're interested in my IRs, in my Kemper or Tonix profiles, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine and to my new EP, Art, Love, Freedom. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.